All right, breaking news coming in. Sources telling headlines today that the Telangana bill, which was to have been tabled and discussed at 5 this evening, will not be taken up in the Rajya Sabha today. That's the very latest that we're bringing to you live from our reporters. The government has told the BJP that it is sympathetic towards their cause, but cannot accommodate their amendments at this time, leading to a stalemate on the issue between the government and the BJP. From some 30 amendments, the BJP insisted they at least accommodate 4 of those amendments. But according to sources, the government has not agreed to it because of the possibility that the bill will have to go back to the Lok Sabha, and there being no time in this current session for that to be allowed. Kamaljit Sandhu breaking the story. First and exclusive here on Headlines Today. Kamal, take us through the details that the bill will not be taken up today.
Well, initially it was listed for 2 o'clock, and then we were told that clearly the bill is coming up for discussion at 4 o'clock. It would be introduced and then discussed. But then later on, the senior ministers, at least Mr. Shinde and Jairam Ramesh, were called in for a meeting with the BJP leaders. Arun Jaitley, who's the leader of the of opposition, as well as Mr. Venkaiah Naidu. There was a long meeting with the Prime Minister and the senior ministers, and clearly there were efforts to try and convince BJP to back off from their demand of having 30 amendments. According to our sources, they really stuck to 4 of the amendments. They wanted to have it through in Rajya Sabha, but which basically also meant that if any new amendment is brought in Rajya Sabha, it has to go back to Lok Sabha. It has to be approved and then back to Rajya Sabha once again after the approval of President. With almost 2 days left, the government is clearly running out of time. So strategically, the point of the government was to convince BJP not to push for the amendments. They had come down from somewhere between 32 amendments to almost 4 amendments. But now what we know is that there is a stalemate. Arun Jaitley as well as Venkaiah Naidu did not agree. They wanted to push for these 4 amendments. Remember, if BJP now at this point of time backs out, there's a clear message which is going to go to the voters as well, that the party is changing stance. This is what they really do not really show. Kamalnath earlier had come and slammed Sushma Swaraj, remember a few days ago, saying BJP is constantly changing its stance on Telangana.
Yes.
This is not only an emotive issue, it is a political issue. This is something which is connecting a lot of people. And remember, with the stance changing very, very quickly, is the big news at this point of time is, with just 2 days left, the government is clearly running out of time, and there seems to be a stalemate, and Telangana bill is not coming up for discussion in Rajya Sabha today.
Well, this has big implications politically and otherwise. T.S. Sudhir, editor South, is also with us live from Hyderabad for a perspective on this. What kind of message is this going to send out, Sudhir, after very high-level discussions between the Prime Minister, leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, several senior leaders, both from the Congress and the BJP, who've been in a huddle for the last, more than an hour now, and it's finally been decided, according to our correspondent Kamaljit, that the bill will not be taken up in the Rajya Sabha today?
Well, yes. In fact, the impression that the BJP gave by wholeheartedly supporting the Congress yesterday in the Lok Sabha is that they were willing to go along with the Congress, and that had caused a lot of heartburn, especially in Seemandhra, because they expected that he will try and put up some amendments, ensure that this bill actually gets extended, at least in the Lok Sabha.
Yes.
But the manner in which the entire thing was pushed through, almost bulldozed in the Lok Sabha, that has kind of angered the Seemandhra lobby, and the BJP does not want to be seen as not addressing the concerns of Seemandhra. So many see this as some kind of a time-buying tactic, as some kind of a delaying tactic to ensure that at least some of its amendments, including the financial package for Seemandhra, are agreed to upon by the Congress government. The problem also for the UP, as Kamaljit was pointing out, is that many of those amendments, if they are introduced now in the Rajya Sabha, there is a possibility that it may have to again go back to the Lok Sabha for ratification, and that since there are only 2 more days for the government, it really does not have enough time on its hands. So a stalemate, definitely. The BJP also wants to convey to both the people of Telangana and Seemandhra that have the interest of people of both regions at mind, and which is why this kind of a decision taken by the BJP.
Okay, Sudhir, just stay with me. I want to take our viewers live to right outside Parliament, where my colleague Maruk Inayat is with me. Maruk, what a development. It's not going to be debated in Parliament. It's not going to be taken up today. This is going to, exponentially increase the level of suspicion, the level of scrutiny over the BJP and the Congress as far as what they've been talking about and why they can't get through with this.
Absolutely, Shiv. And we've been talking about how to look at this situation in two ways: mistakes and dividends.
Yes.
And one of the mistakes that the BJP made yesterday was go along with the government tabling the bill despite the din in the House, with the broadcast switched off. And clearly, the BJP, having recounted what happened yesterday, must have realized that with the Seemandhra lobby unhappy, as T.S. Sudhir was telling us, they need to show the right kind of political posturing.
Yes.
That not just are they with the state of Telangana, with the people of Telangana, but also with that of Seemandhra. I keep repeating this. L.K. Advani said Seemandhra MPs need to be there. Sushma Swaraj did a turnaround, said we want the bill to be passed,
Yes.
the state of Telangana to be formed. Venkaiah Naidu said what happens to the people of Seemandhra. So clearly the BJP realizes in toto they are giving their support for the state of Telangana, but for the right posturing. And this is with an eye on 2014, the right posturing. And today the BJP is making a point that we want certain amendments to be made to the bill and also a package for Seemandhra. Having said that, the Congress on the other hand realizes that the BJP is playing this double game, not just for Telangana but also for Seemandhra. And the Congress cannot be now seen to be giving any more concessions. Having passed it in the lower house, they have only 2 days left, and in those 2 days they need to pass it in the upper house as well. Any amendment in the upper house would mean a delay in the bill going to the lower house,
Yes.
and then being passed all over again. So clearly this is classic political posturing, both from the Congress party and the BJP ship.
I mean, this is really classic political posturing, like you put it, Maruk. I just want to update our viewers that the Rajya Sabha has been adjourned till tomorrow, and like we reported to you first, and like Maruk just corroborated for us, the bill will not be taken up in Parliament today for sure. The government is still trying to convince the BJP on those amendments. But technically speaking, Maruk, adjournment has been called. The Rajya Sabha will reconvene only tomorrow. And like you said, there are only 2 days left in this session to actually, make anything happen. It's incredibly tight.
Absolutely, Shiv. And look at how it has progressed over the past few days. I mean, yesterday we saw that while technicalities were met, the spirit of Parliament was greatly questioned. It was questioned post facto, and the BJP did not do it while the bill was tabled in the lower house.
Yes.
The questions about the spirit of democracy were not raised by the BJP at that point. And today, clearly realizing that they might have lost some phase, the BJP is keeping its eye on the ball and saying that at the end of it, while the bill may be passed, they need to be seen as one party that kept up both its stances. That one of commitment to the state of Telangana, and B, to make sure that within Seemandhra,
Yes.
and this comes from the political dividend that I speak of. In the state of Telangana, clearly the Congress has a tag or an understanding with the TRS. So those 17 seats the Congress is eyeing.
Yes.
But for the BJP, the options are in the Seemandhra region. And today they cannot be seen as going away or losing that political cloud that they might be able to develop with the key players. And the Seemandhra region and the MPs from there, that lobby was not happy with how it was seen that the BJP pretty much gave in to the idea of the state of Telangana, which is where the BJP is trying to recover. I have a feeling, and this is just an intuition at this point, that over the next 2 days, this might be dragged to the last minute, because ultimately the Congress and the BJP both want the state of Telangana, but how it plays out in terms of political posturing will be very interesting to watch.
Phenomenal level of affirmation, isn't it, Maruk, of just how much importance both these parties don't just attach to the birthing process of Telangana, but how each one of them actually looks, when this process is actually complete. That gives you a real sense, like Maruk said, of the classic political posturing. This one might really go down to the wire. Thanks, Maruk, for joining us on this story. We will continue to bring you the very latest as discussions between the Prime Minister, the government, and the opposition continue right through today.